Hey everyone, I'm finally having a kiln opening today. This is again a small batch. I haven't had one in a while. I've been busy. First was the workshops and busy with things for the gallery. I have some pieces here that I was painting, some chameleons, frogs, that those are going to a show at the gallery. And then I will concentrate into doing my own pieces to go into my restock on my website. But I am going to have also, it's a new thing for me, pre-orders. So I am gonna have these kind of mugs available for pre-order. This combination was inspired by Kim and Seth, but I changed a little bit. So I incorporated some bots glazes, which have become one of my favorites now. I just love bots glazes, so I use some in here. So this is citrine yellow, papaya shallot, or sorry, sunrise shallot, bougainvillea, and I use floating turquoise. But then I used larimar, which is bots, and this is bots also. And the bird is bots. Inside is my Celso Chan that I use as a liner, is a turquoise. I have that under my posts. You can look up. It's a great glaze, liner glaze. And this is Larimar, and look at that drip. So when I was looking closely, I realized that Larimar over shallot and bougainvillea makes these real nice purple color, as you can see here. So I'll be using more of these. I'm drinking soda, so anyways, these glazes are super comfortable. These are almost like a thumb rest. So I'll be making more of these. I'll be making more of the ones that I've done in the past that have flowers over here, like a drift of flowers. And all those will be available for pre-order, and then the rest will be some real nice glazes that I have. I'm trying to narrow down some combinations that I like, and as you know, I like colorful things. So again, I'll be using a lot of the bots glazes also. They're great. If you haven't used it, I started with one or two, and now I have a lot of colors. I don't know how many I have now, but they are they come on a smaller bottle. They're not cheap. They're a little more pricey than the average glazes, but I just like because they are semi-translucent and almost like a celadon. But you know how celadon are stable. These, like I talked on my last live video about different glazes. Well, this one is like a celadon, but they move and they interact with other glazes and react with other glazes really well. I've tried, combining that with other brands, and it works out really well. So this is what's happening. And sorry, don't mind my mess here. I am on my third car garage, and that's all I have here is my kilns. My two kilns, but then I use the third car garage for all my tools and stuff like that, and then my studio is on the other two car garage. So please don't mind my mess, and I'll bring you closer and let's start this unloading. So let's start with the unloading. I was gonna bring you closer, but the closer I bring my camera here, the darker it is. Right now my garage opens that way, so I'm getting the light from outdoors. So I'm gonna start with some tests that I did first. So this was cuerda seca. Look how cute. My toucan turned out really cute. And these are just stroke and coat on the back, because this was a tester. I wasn't going to, put all the glazes that moved too much, because I was afraid it was gonna run into here. So I used blue isle and then succulent, a mixture of blue isle and succulent, which is succulent is Amico. But the colors, these are all stroke and coat in here. So I'm gonna be doing more of this style. It's almost like a medallion here. And then I can use other glazes on the rest of the piece. I believe I'm gonna be doing this on some mugs. But the test in here was, it was using wax resist with pigment, dark green pigment in particular on this one, which turned out it almost looks black, the line work, as you can see through there. And I applied it using the applicator bottle and a real thin tip. Maybe it was 20 gauge, something like that, which is a real thin for the line work. The only thing that I see here that I'm not crazy about with the wax resist is that the lines are not as crisp as they are when you use the oil mixture with a liner brush. So that's the only thing I don't like. But if you don't like using a liner brush, you can certainly use wax resist and then mix it with mine was an inclusion pigment, which is usually more pigmented than other mason stains. So inclusion pigments is what I used. They are a little bit more expensive than mason stains, but they do have more pigment. So that's why you see the dark green lines. But I'm pretty happy with the results. And what do you guys think? I think it will look pretty on a mug to have like a medallion. It almost looks like a window and you're looking through that and showing like through that window, you're seeing this tropical paradise. So I'll be doing more of these for sure. I tested one little stamp that I bought just to make little magnets for including with whoever buys my stuff, because this is so tropical. It's a hibiscus. And if you want, I can put the link for these. I believe it was from Amazon, but I'm not sure. I believe it was. Anyways, this is stroke and coat. I used melancholy for the petals and then dandelion for the middle part. And then some dots of apple red. And I think I use just a little bit of apple red in here too, just for contrast. But it came out really nice. I'm happy with this little, and I'm gonna put the magnet here on the back. Again, I was just testing the stamp, so I'm gonna make a bunch of these. A cup from one of my students from my workshop. She was moving and she asked me, and I'm sorry, Adrienne, that have taken me so long to have a glaze firing, but she was gonna move and she asked me to ship this to her. But look at her work. This is the girl who took my class, and I'm so proud. I make these for the class because you can put your hand inside like this and you can paint without touching the oil. But gosh, I'm so excited with this. Let me see if I hope I'm capturing her work. She did this. And I teach how to do the blending of colors, you know, on the leaves and flowers, and look at that. Oh, she'll be so happy with this. I'm very happy with her results. Very nice. And this is my luminary. Oh my gosh, look at that. I am so happy with the results. This is sandstone. I did that on all the trees, the tree trunks. It had some leaves here and there separated from the top. But I can't wait. I'm gonna do all these. I have a separate video that I would do with the text of the glazes that I use. So I'll do those as shorts, and I'll do one to show you the the candle inside of this. Anyways, I used Laguna Catalina crackle inside, and you still pinging, and that's because the crackle, yeah, the crackle glazes happens once you take it out, and it has that change of temperature. As the temperature cools, this is still cooling, it gets more and more crackles in there. But that turned out so nice. I think you can see remember I did that video that I wiped a darker green, and it gets into the little crevices and of the leaves, and it gives a contrast for the leaves, so they're not like one color, you know. But and I even though I did that separately, the little sculpture of the fox, I put the clear glaze, which is HF9 is what I use for here and the fox, and then it fuses together. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. Look at her. This is the not chameleon, it's a gecko. I think it's called panther gecko. He had like this fatter tail. And I put some berries in here, you know, something tropical for the branch. I used sandstone, and I used, this has turquoise lake, 2 coats everywhere, all the way to the top, and blue guppy also on the rim and a little bit inside. The handle is sandstone. It kind of goes with the spotted gecko, but look at him on the branch. So my sculptures are all hollow, and this is on White Bear clay by Kentucky Mud Works. Nothing too drastic here. I wanted to keep it a little simpler because he's the show of the mug, so I didn't want to take the attention from the gecko. So I really like this. And again, that's from the blue guppy, the crystals. Hit the shelf a little bit. I usually don't get these because I'm careful, but this one, because I'm using bots. And what did I use here? Sapphire blue by bots, 2 or 3 coats on the bottom third. Then on the middle is celadon green by bots. Then on the top third is bots aquamarine, which is a light blue. And then over that, over the blue is blue guppy, is a jungle gems, and also where they meet right here between the green and the sapphire blue. But I'm super happy. Look at these colors. And the rest is all on the glaze painting. It dripped a little bit here, but that's okay. It's not too bad. You can still see the big leaf that the frog is in. He's a red-eye tree frog. Oh, he's super cute. But see that drip? It went all the way here, and it dripped a little bit on the shelf, but not too bad. Wow, this is the other frog. Look how cute. This is Spot's Carnelian Yellow on the bottom 2/3. Then the top third is Larimar. And where they overlap is Bots Plus. Also made a drip here, very nice drip. It almost gives like this oil spot kind of look, but it's so tropical, isn't it? Like the colors. I love that. So if maybe someone can buy this one, his and hers, don't you think? This one is a little bit more masculine. This is very feminine. This is my chameleon. This is leopard chameleon, or is it panther? Oh my gosh, I'm getting so confused now with their names. Maybe it's a panther chameleon. I will rectify here and I'll put it on the text what they are. I actually have a picture that I use for inspiration. So this was 2 coats of violet by Opulence on the bottom third right here. Then in the middle is 2 coats of Spectrum Shallot. Then on the top third is 1 coat of Spectrum Floating Turquoise with 2 coats of Larimar, and then 1 coat of Larimar over Shallot, and then some swooshes of Bots Plus. But remember I was telling you I wanted to make sure I could replicate this purple here, except that this is on a larger scale. But see this? That was the purple I was trying to replicate here, and I think I got it. So it's a darker, it turns like a darker purple with the Larimar over it, over Shallot. So I have to make a note of that and do more combinations like that. It's very pretty. These, I decided instead of using sandstone, I decided to just paint with different shades of browns and yellows and grays. The branch for the handle, and then use clear HF9, same thing, you know, here all over. So the difference between using sandstone and this is glossy, this is more of a satin. But I like both, how they turned out. So I don't know, I tend to like this just slightly more, how it has the spots. Okay, so this was the other Chameleon. He also turned out really cute. It's a little bit different, the colors. You see this one here has more of the turquoise and reds and yellows. This one had more of a chartreusey and blue colors and yellows. So just slightly different. Also, this is just a tiny bit smaller. Also just hollow. So this is one of my favorite combinations which I've used in the past. This one has Celadon, Amico Celadon pear on about an inch on the bottom. Then the rest is 3 coats of Deep Sea Amico Celadon, and then one coat covering the pear. And then the green that you see is 2 coats of seaweed, Amico seaweed. I'm not crazy about this here on the bottom. I might refire just so it's not so blotchy here. And it gives this real pretty reactions here with the blue and the seaweed over it. And then this is just on the glazes. But yeah, I wasn't crazy about this right here. What do you guys think? I think I might put something else here on the bottom. And it's stable, so I can refire. Nothing will happen. It's not like it's gonna drip. So, okay, off to the next shelf. Luminary. So cute. Trying to think if I did anything different on this one. I used the same colors of greens on the leaves, but maybe some oranges. I did the same on the other one, some blues. And I also did the darker green and wiped the back. And then the really cute fox. So this is the shorter luminary, the bottom. This is, look at how pretty the Catalina crackle is. Very pretty. So again, I will put the candle inside and have a video to show the openings here. It will be so pretty. I'm very happy with it. You guys remember that? I didn't do this right on top. But anyways, it was a test because I wanted to see how the leaves would turn out and how the trunks, you know, the tree trunk would be using sandstone. That's what I used. And then I finally, the reason why I refired now is I wanted to fuse the fox with this part. And now she's there. And look. Oh my gosh. I am so happy with these. All my birds came out like a different shape, slightly different. Let me see if after firing they still sound. And then it's got 6 holes. So it works. So this was one very colorful bird. I can't remember, I got inspired by all these birds that I made, and I tried to make it resemble the colors that I was seeing. This one is some kind of tanager that has that yellow and orange color. You see how this sounds different than the other one. Other one, this is the Eurasian tit, blue tit bird. And look at the colors, got the chartreuse on the, I carved this one. So pretty. This one here. So this was another tanager bird that I looked up the colors. Has the red head and so yeah, you might need some sanding too in here. He's really cute. And then, so this was one of the first ones I did. It was more like a whistle. This one has a hole on the bottom, so you need to cover the hole there with your thumb, and just has 2 holes like that, and the opening here on the top. Thank you guys for being here. I will not be having live this Saturday. I made this video for you guys, so in trade-off of my lives, I will be getting back again on the following Saturday, but I'm driving to Florida to see my sisters, their families, kind of like a family reunion, cousins reunion, and sister reunion. So we're driving Friday, and I'm coming back Tuesday. So we'll have a good time. It's about 8 hours to drive to near Orlando area, and I'm looking forward to that. We always have fun when we go there. My sister from Brazil came to see her daughter who lives there, and so I can't wait to see them. Every time she comes down, I try to drive and to see them. Then I have another sister who lives there in Orlando, so I'll see both of them. We have a sister reunion, and then I'll be back cranking on my stuff, and hopefully I'll be able to like take care of some of the minor things on these 2 glazes. One I will refire, the other one I will sand that bottom and ship them to Charlie Cummings Gallery. And then hopefully I'll have I have another announcement coming, but I wanted to have it separate from this one. I'm very excited about that, and I'll make another short soon on that announcement. And that's it. That's what's going on Anna's Clay House. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, share. I appreciate you.